was a new crystal shop that opened locally, and my friend Pia, who's a unicorn incarnate, and I went into this shop just, you know, like casually. We'd just gotten a chai or something next door, and oh, look, there's a crystal shop. And I walk in, and quite a lot of things wanted to come home with me. And this crystal is sitting there, and oh my God, it's like, it's literally talking to me. The codes within this crystal, it's a whole universe within itself. Yeah. Now, someone might go, well, $3,000 for this crystal. I've seen similar ones for $800 in different shops. And it's not about that. It really isn't. Like there actually is a reason for this price of where it's located, like where it's come from. That, you know, crystals are priced very differently for very different reasons. Yet this crystal came to me at the same time as, oopsie, this crystal and this crystal and this crystal. Yeah. And then a beautiful 30,000-year-old pyrite sun, a piece as well. Yet, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. It really, like, you can really see it when you light up, but there's literally a universe in here. It's pretty incredible. Anyway, when these pieces came home with me, I kid you not, for over a week, every night, like they were working with me so hard. The codes that they had to share, like as soon as we came in contact with each other, they activated and then shared that. And I've been co-creating with them since. And there's no, like, I've got crystals all over my home, yet these ones wanted to co-create this event. Does this make sense? So even though when I walked into that shop, I spent quite a lot of, you know, cash money, this is my team. These crystals are part of my team, no different to the professors in magic school. It's like we want to look at it differently as a quantum practitioner. We don't look at instruments as an instrument. We don't go looking for the cheapest drum, if that makes sense. We actually find a team member, a mission member, and the crystals are the same. This is this Lemurian crystal, which I also found in Ama Sophia's beautiful hand. She's got lots of Lemurian crystals. There was many there. And this one had the codes. This one is literally here because it works on activating the crystal heart consciousness. The Lemurian codes within this activate the crystal heart consciousness technologies, Lemurian heart activations, and work in the bones, literally having your bones become more crystal, to unlocking your own soul codex within your very bones. It's pretty cool. And once again, you might be like, does this make sense? Do you feel what I'm putting down? At first, I receive all the books. And then I initiate others inside of this space. And now this crystal literally sits here and has been sitting here for the last few days, and it's working. It's part of the team. Yeah? Does this resonate? Yeah. When I was in Peru, this was in 2018, I came across, there's like these hidden markets in Peru and little hidden stalls run by the locals. And there was this one where the woman in it had all these artifacts. As I was talking to her, she was beautiful. Her father made instruments and stuff, all coded. And we got to talking, and she showed me like more of a hidden, a little hidden supply of, I guess you could even say family heirlooms. This is 600 years old, and it's coded with shamanic codes. It was literally used in all sorts of ceremonies to work with the plants. Does this make sense? And when they make these, they take quite a long time to make, like to carve them out of stone. And this is their tools. And then they give them to their children, and their children give them to their children. And so there was many other pieces there, yet this one wanted to come and shared so much shamanic codes. After the initiations with this friend, I all of a sudden was able to do things I wasn't able to do before. And every magic school, guess who comes out? This one. And once again, this beautiful friend is part of the team working inside the Magic School grid. So this is different. It's like when we look at investing in our ascension, it expands. You know, if I was to really assess how much I've invested in my ascension beyond coaches and courses, it's a lot, because I've invested over 2 million on courses and coaches. So you know, when I add in the travel around the world to sacred sites, the, you know, going to Mount Shasta, working in Mount Shasta, going to the portals, receiving activations, initiations, Uluru, Sedona, like traveling to very specific places. And like I said, we're going to go to Greeks, then we're going to go to Egypt, and they're all part of it. And I wanted to sort of like invite you to explore that sometimes you're called for a grid work mission to a certain location. You're there to activate things, repair things, initiate things, yet we're always receiving. There's always a co-creation happening. There's something for us as well. Not that that's sound, I was just, you know, talking about. And then, you know, when we look at these instruments too, like the golden harp was, I think, $2,500 US. Now, someone might be like, well, that's a fair bit of money to spend on a, you know, instrument. Yet, do you think the golden harp was going to let me walk out? No way. And then I think this one was like 1,600, and this one was about 1,500. Now, I'm sharing this with you because they are investments. If you haven't looked into this before, and you might drop 10K like that, you know, on part of your team as a practitioner, and you of course don't need to until you're ready as well. I think, you know, like that's important as well. Yet what they give us in return, I promise you, is worth more. Like, my gosh, you know, investing whatever it was, 1,600 USD into the Isis chalice and working with Isis, and the precision, the codes that have been received, the memories, like I can't even imagine like what I would pay to receive those codes from a mentor, like in the physical plane of existence. Working with Ra, you know, Isis taught me how to go deep with, literally taught me, gave me the codes to go deep within the eye of the needle of the subconscious into my own field to find exactly the pinpoint of where things begin, to harmonize, alchemize, and to do it with the souls that I serve. So some of you have experienced in webinars with me where I can like, shoof, find the exact piece of, you know, where your stuff began, and you may have been looking for it for a decade. Does this make sense? And then you go, like, these are the pieces. So I feel like this is often not talked about with sound and with your team, that sound is our team. And then of course, beyond having something like this in the physical plane of existence, there's also our sound, which we're going to be expanding more and more over the 7-month journey. After this 5-day event, you're going to have some home play, and that's going to be receiving light language initiations with our beautiful Ria, who is Magic School's light language professor, just isn't physical here, so the recordings are there with you this year. And I'll be filling in, Dumbledore stepping in and filling in because she's on holidays. And toning and allowing the voice. Every light language that we activate and we co-create with is another codex, another set of technology. Does this resonate? So, you know, a lot of people like think that you only speak one light language. We have had so many different incarnations that we can co-create with many, many different light languages. And what's really cool about Ria's transmission is she literally takes you through many different ones and invites the activation. If it's within you, you know, it'll activate. We find that in Magic School, a lot of Magic Schoolians tend to be multilingual when it comes to light language. So then when we do work with our light language, there's a whole other journey to take too, because yes, like to me, my light language is a part of my team. I have so much reverence for it, hence why I will let it interrupt me mid-sentence. And it's like a team member, it's like Mel being like, hey, let me add something. And I'm like, okay, babe. And she's like, okay. That's how I feel it and receive it. And they're all living consciousnesses. They're all alive. And so the invitation with sound, with anything, any tool, you know, is to co-create in this regard.